Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Collaboration Culture podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Winborn. I'm joined by a special guest in our fourth quarter success series. This evening, we'll be talking about marketing, and I'm joined by the Quintin Murphy of Triangle Marketing Solutions. Quintin, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and then we'll dive right in. I'm so excited to have my brother on here, not biologically, but by association, by friendship. We've been working together off and on for years now. And he is the person that I first learned the most from when it came to social media and even some marketing tips. So you guys are in for a treat this evening. Come with your questions, share the video, share the podcast, especially if you know a business owner or organization that is looking for somebody to help them with their marketing. Okay, so Quinn, share a little bit about yourself.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Hey, Kim. I'm so
Hey,
excited to be on. Thank you so much, my sister, for having me on your awesome podcast, man. Let me just say first, I love what you've been doing, how you really just been diving into it and
thank you.
celebrating the culture and putting people on the collaborations and making people grow. So, shout out to you, big sis.
Thank you.
What about me, man? Quentin Murphy here, owner and founder of Triangle Marketing Solutions, formerly the Mobile Group. We've been in operation over 15 years doing social media marketing, content creation, collaboration, and social media management. Um, from a little town called Wallace, North Carolina, in Duplin County. Graduated from the North Carolina Central University here in Durham, North Carolina, and just so happy to be here. So
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you, like I said. And so when I want to dive right in, Q, because there's so much to pack around marketing. And I sent you some stuff that we could chit chat about, but it's so much to pack around marketing. And I think so
right.
many people get so much advice, and some of it is right, and some of it is maybe not perfect for us.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so, one of the things that as we are wrapping up the fourth quarter, and this is how I think of business, I believe that you track all year, but you wrap
Absolutely.
up the year by thinking about the next year. Like
Hmm.
you don't just focus on how you can end strong this year, but how you can
Right.
end strong to set yourself up successfully for the following year. So
Right.
we're walking into 2023, actually running because the years are flying. I mean, the
Absolutely.
months are flying by. And
Absolutely.
so when it co- what when you think of marketing, when you say Triangle Marketing Solutions, what encapsulates all of that for you?
So when we went with the new name Triangle Marketing Solution, we really wanted to be more streamlined and
Hmm.
more recognizable to the Triangle area, since that's where we are. So around the country, the Triangle is known to encapsulate hundreds and hundreds of businesses,
Yeah,
everything from law to medicine to tech. And so we wanted to be a part of that conversation, in part of somebody's memory when you think of the Triangle. And so we
yeah,
wanted to align ourselves with those businesses out there, inside the Triangle, research Triangle part, as some may call it. And that's how we really started to get around, calling ourselves a Triangle Marketing Solutions. And with that, being the Triangle, we wanted to make sure that we hit on the 3 points of a triangle, which is engagement, entertainment, and then education, as far as when it comes to the whole marketing perspective as well. So that's how we ingrained ourselves as the
hmm
Triangle Marketing Solutions, hitting on those three areas.
wow. Engagement, education, and entertainment.
Absolutely.
That makes our triangle. I love that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I just thought, okay, so it's the triangle. You do marketing and you have solutions.
Yeah, it
So
all comes together, right? Because those are the three elements when you talk about successful marketing campaigns, especially in the digital world and social media. To have a successful um, campaign around your product or service, you want to make sure that you're not just posting stuff, but you're
mhm,
actually hitting those three elements to bring people in to make your product or service have more engagement.
yeah. So we hear the word strategy a lot from those who are in marketing, whatever area it is. And so when people say that they need marketing, number one, I want to know. My question is, why do you think you need marketing, right? And what is it that marketing means to them? Well, to most people, they're really thinking about sales,
Hmm.
and basically, they just need to convert what they have into money. And so
Hmm.
you said that social media is a tool for that, marketing is a tool for that. Let's break that down for a second. The difference between what you do and sales, and how that,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So I tell all of my inquiries that come in my inbox, when I have what we call a discovery call,
Yeah.
right? My first question is just like you when you talk to business owners is you define what they're looking for, right?
Mhm.
And I make it very clear I'm not into sales,
Mhm.
because I learned very a long time ago that social media is not about selling; it's about connecting your story, your causes, to then convert those into sales, because you have to think about it. People are getting sold something to all day long. When you go to if you go to your inbox right now, there's 100 different companies trying to offer you to buy this, try this, sign up for that,
Mhm.
register for that, right?
True.
And so when you transition that over to social media, that just really turns people off. So with social media, what I do is provide content sharing, which is creating a story around your product or service for our clients in order to deliver that to the type of audience that they want to be engaged with their product. So the more a person that has engagement with your business or product service, the more they begin to trust what you're saying, the more they get the trust of what you're doing. And then the
Mhm.
most important factor is how are you helping that person in which you want to market to solve a problem. And that's how you really get over the hump of sales in
Mhm.
social media marketing, is being able to strategize and solve a problem for your niche market.
Yes. And oh, that's such a strong, powerful way that you ended that sentence. Niche market. Now, what is that, Quinn? Now, we're all trying to be everywhere at first because we're
Mhm.
starting our businesses. We may not have enough money at first. Most people don't. Some people do plan for years and they start their businesses, but most people are starting kind of on a shoestring budget. So you end up having to do everything. So, niche market, can we talk about how significant that is when you're talking with your clients and what that is?
Yeah, so your niche market is really defined as what space can you provide value, right? And the space that you can provide value is something that you have been doing for so long that you are an expert in, that you can provide this value,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you if you just have a product or service, and you just the biggest misconception is I have a social media account or several accounts, I put my stuff on social media, and the sales are just going to start rolling in,
Right.
when that's
We
too
hope.
broad, right? Nobody's First of all, nobody's checking for you.
Right.
Let's get that out the way. Nobody's checking for you until you learn how to be checked for, which is
Oh.
making sure that your content is strategically engaging the people that you want to serve.
Mm-hmm.
Without getting too biblical, it all goes back to being a servant, right?
Mm.
Serving these people with your business ideas, your business strategy, your business solutions, which
Mm-hmm.
keeps the doors open for repetitive customers.
Yes, and that's what we all want in the end, right? Any entrepreneurs out there, we want repetitive customers, and that could be in by way of referral. So basically,
Mhm.
they're repeatedly referring people to your business. For instance, a realtor, you may not have a client that buys a house every year, but
Right.
they may refer people to you over and over again. And so that's so significant to entrepreneurship. I love being an entrepreneur. It was a decision I made over 20 years ago, and it's one of the things about it is that it these days it's so glamorized, and so people say everybody
Mhm.
not supposed to be an entrepreneur, right? And the thing about that is, if it's in your heart, if it's in your mind to do it, then do it. But it's a decision, just like
Absolutely.
anything else, to get up every day
Oh
and
man.
work your business,
Yeah.
right?
Because it's on you. It's on you. It's on
Yeah.
you, right? When you decide to step into that world of entrepreneurship, you got to understand there are going to be a lot of no's. There are going
Mm-hmm.
to be some yeses, but there are going to be a whole lot of no's. There's going to be a whole lot of goals that you don't hit in your
Mm-hmm.
first attempt, right? So
Hmm.
you have to have it within yourself to keep going. You
Yeah.
have to have what is the bigger picture for entrepreneurship. A lot of people get into entrepreneurship and think, oh, I'm gonna make 6 figures you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, in a year or 2 years or 5 years. And that's so far. Or I got to quit my full-time job, become an entrepreneur, when none of these things and these myths are true. The thing
Yeah.
about entrepreneurship is again, what do you have that you convert and profitize on that makes you fulfill your purpose,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so, for me, it was very simple. I
Mhm.
dove into entrepreneurship because that's all I've been doing since I was a teenager, is
Mhm.
hustling. And that hustle, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yes, I do.
that transition into the college life would
Mhm.
transition into a full-time business, and then another thing, what makes entrepreneurship um just so worthwhile, for
Mhm.
us entrepreneurs. For me personally, my story was I couldn't get over 30-minute breaks. I
Mhm.
thought that was like, just as bad as slavery. Like, how are you going to tell me to take the 30-minute break, and I'm
Yeah.
making, so for me, entrepreneurship is about the freedom more than the money. You can't
Uh-huh.
get into entrepreneurship about the money. It's not about
Mhm.
the money. It's the freedom that the money comes along, with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. So Mona said exactly. And that's the thing. So we have to have discipline even in those breaks. So you may say, okay, I didn't want to be on a job, or somebody tell me where I could take a break, or how long I got to go to lunch and all that stuff. That is the freedom in that. But also we need people to understand, like you just said, you got to have goals and you got
Hmm.
to have strategies and all
Right.
of those things, and that has to be a part of your day so you could take those breaks. And I remember, I talk to people about this all the time when it comes to managing my time. It's not just about the amount in a day, it's about what you're going to do with it. And so we
Absolutely.
all have to like cut off at some point too, to be able to spend time with family. Like, what's the point of being free if you're bound, right? And you
Right.
can't spend time
Absolutely.
with your family. So for me, it was okay, Sunday, I'm not taking call. And if other people can, you can invite me to stuff all day. If I choose to, great. But if not, that's my time for me. But some people on Sundays plan, which I
Right.
think is a great idea. So, what is your routine for the week when it comes to the things that you're doing, especially for your clients? What's your routine for success?
Oh man, that's so loaded. Because I'm involved in so many things, but
Hmm.
my if I first of all, when I get up, I make sure that I give that time to God for positioning me to be
Yeah.
able to be an entrepreneur, right? So I
Hmm.
said I let that start my day. But actually, my day starts the day before the actual day. So before
Hmm.
I go to sleep every night, I make sure that I go over or write down my objectives that I want to accomplish for that week or for that day
Smart.
before the day even happens.
Yeah.
And then I just get to it, man. I just really just dive right in, and I keep up constant reminders of everywhere I go about what the end goal is. So when we talk about fourth quarter, people
Hmm.
got to understand, for my entrepreneurs out there, fourth quarter is not the time for you to relax. I know we got a bunch of holidays coming up. Well, really, you should be taking advantage of these holidays, and boosting your sales. So it's a great
Hmm.
opportunity to position yourselves for, fourth quarter specials and fourth
Hmm.
quarter collaborations, and really just kind of knock out the close of the year so you can hit the ground running at the beginning of the year. Don't wait till January 1, you say I'm gonna get started. But if you say that, you're already behind the eight ball of your competitors,
Hmm.
so, or you're behind the eight ball for, or somebody, you could have missed the boat of somebody's waiting on you
Yeah.
for that service, right?
Yeah.
So you got to go out there and do it. You got to send that one more email. You got to go
Yeah.
to that one more meeting. You got to make that one more phone call. You got to mark it just a little 30 minutes longer than you've been have. So what part of that 1% are you doing more in the fourth quarter that you didn't do in the third or the second or the first, to really get you to that end goal that you want to have for your business.
Absolutely. You can't stop now. Can't stop now.
Yeah.
And so, one of the things that I think evades people, or kind of just like wipes them out of social media, is how things change all the time.
Hmm.
And I know you're talking about posting and being consistent with certain things and then having specials and promotions. Now, I'm sure you've run into that client or that person that's like, man, I'm posting, but my stuff isn't getting any hits. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And the algorithms are changing all the time. So, is there a preferred time to post? To play with the social media algorithms, to
Yeah.
be sure your posts are seen, or give us some wisdom.
So for one, get out of the algorithm chase, right? Because it's never going to be the same. The
Hmm.
algorithm you find out today could change tomorrow. That's how
Yeah.
quick the turnover is, right?
Hmm.
Instead, get into being more consistent, right? That's what makes your social media effective and strong is being consistent, right? Consistent with your messaging so that your niche audience or your target audience is always in the know about what you're doing. What is your business going through, and being able to not only just post sales, but what's actually behind the scenes of your business.
Hmm.
What's the day in the life like of Kimberly Winborn. People want to be engaged. They want to be, with you as you go, try different coffee from a different coffee shop in Raleigh, and they want reviews. This is where people are getting their information. So the more
Hmm.
informative you could be, the more trust and value that you bring to your social media platforms, that's your engagement. Don't get caught up in the likes, right? Don't get caught up, likes are just, likes.
Hmm.
That's why they are bot driven, half of them. So don't get caught up just because you may see an account with 20,000 followers, but then they post something, they got 12 likes.
Hmm.
You got to understand the math. So something, the things aren't always what they seem on social media. So you just make sure that you're consistent with your messaging, consistent with your story, and you'll be successful. You'll have a brand that's successful on social media. The right person will come to you.
Yes. And a couple of things you just said that struck me or that stuck out to me, which is this one: get out of the algorithm chase, get consistent. Shanae says she likes that. I like that too. For those of us, for those people out there who are really trying to grow in their business, grow in their organization, and all of these new platforms come up. You got TikTok, you got
Hmm.
all these new platforms, and everybody's trying to figure out which one they should be on because
Right.
of the fact that they see people reeling it out,
Yeah.
reels all over the place, and all of that, and it could be intimidating. What's your advice on getting consistent, maybe on one or two platforms, or what would you recommend?
Yeah, so when you in this social media world, understand those bigger accounts usually have bigger teams.
Hmm.
So for my solo entrepreneurs, again, before you post, it's really just about diving into learning a couple of things. One, who am I posting for? What am I posting for? Who is it going to affect? Is this information valid?
Hmm.
And how can I potentially spark engagement? Right.
That's good.
So when you stick to those five key elements, then you'll start to see a more you'll start this getting your time back, and you
Hmm.
won't fight with time about, oh my god, what to post on what platform. So you'll start to understand where your audience is. Your
Hmm.
audience could be on TikTok. If that's the case, then start learning how to use the tools for TikTok. Your
Hmm.
audience may be on Twitter. Your audience may be on Facebook.
Hmm.
So yes, it's a juggle, but you don't have to keep juggling once you understand where your audience is going to get your information.
Hmm.
So if you notice that you got more your audience on Facebook than it is TikTok, then why do you keep trying to keep up with the videos on TikTok? Just use the
Hmm.
videos, shorts, and things on Facebook. Which
Hmm.
essentially, if you kind of look at it, all the platforms out there kind of are doing the same thing:
Hmm.
videos, short stories, posting, links. You just got to find what's more effective to you that you can start to keep up with.
Yeah. Now, are there any that you swear by for an entrepreneur that they should
Uh,
be on?
definitely if you're into sales, especially with a tangible product,
Hmm.
Instagram is killer right now. If you're into more of the coaching role, right, definitely YouTube shorts, and TikTok.
Hmm.
If you're in the real estate game or education, Twitter, right.
Hmm.
Those are the things that kind of how I help navigate. Me personally, uh, I won't say I'm all over the place, but probably Instagram is where I'm getting my most, conversion from.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, is there a formula to successful marketing strategy that anybody can tackle?
Yeah, as I said, consistency. Consistency is
That's the
everything.
formula.
That's the formula. It's we don't have
Consistency.
to overcomplicate this thing. It's no algorithm that X plus Y and Z and posting at 10:30, and it's consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency, consistency, consistency. If you post at 6 o'clock today, post at 6 o'clock tomorrow, post at six
Mm-hmm.
o'clock on Thursday, post at 6 o'clock on Friday and Saturday. It's consistent, having a consistent message. That's really it. But also, let me add this: don't just be social media driven. Learn how to take those conversations offline as well,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be able to balance yourself in both areas.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you about that, because I know that this is a strategy for many businesses. When somebody likes something, to reach out to them, to say, "Hey, I saw you like my post." Do you think that that's a great strategy, or does it become cumbersome and annoying? Like, what is that something that you recommend to your clients?
So it used to be this quote, everything goes down in the DMs, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of gotten saturated because everybody they took that to the advantage, and then with new bots coming into play. So what I do is this. So here's one good strategy is when you go, let's take Instagram. Go to Instagram and you're gonna look up three hashtag categories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever niche market you're in, you look at these three categories and you categorize them, let's say from 500 likes to 10,000 likes. Then
Mm-hmm.
you got 10,000 likes to 200,000 likes, 200,000 likes to a million,
Right.
right? Go to each one of those type of niches and find out who is in your area or who's in the same field of work that you're doing, right? And find out look at who they're marketing to. And
Mm-hmm.
then don't go to the DMs, but go to their actual page and start to comment on their lives that they've posted.
Mm-hmm.
I found this to be more effective. Now, you're gonna have to set some time to it. You can't do this in a minute. It's gonna take, I'll say, carve out about give your business an hour worth of marketing strategy to do,
Mm.
right? At least that. And then you'll start, what'll start to happen is people will start to see who you are, and then they'll come back to your page and see your stories and stuff. And
Yeah.
it kind of gets you out of the way of the DM sales pitch all the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah. One of the questions that I also have, in since we're talking about Instagram, because that's an influencer sort of
Mhm.
space where people are looking to be influencers, they're looking to maybe monetize over there. I do notice that a lot of brands will reach out on some of the posts and maybe
Sure.
inbox you and say, "Hey, I would love for you to be a brand ambassador by wearing our product." How do you weed out what's real and what's not? What is your advice on that sort of inboxing happening?
Well, one is you definitely got to do company research, right?
Hmm.
You got to make sure they're real and they're not just wasting your time with a bunch of gimmicks, and then you got to make the numbers work, right?
Hmm.
So some of them offer percentages. I've got friends that get percentages off certain clothing lines or whatnot,
Yeah.
but they didn't just say yes right away. They took some dive in it. If they really want you to be an ambassador, then one, you should never have to pay for be anybody's ambassador. They came looking for you.
Hmm.
So when they say we can promote you for X, Y, and Z, now leave that alone, right?
Yeah.
Um, I apologize. And then so another thing is that when you start to look at these companies that want to build off your following content, there's an executive branch that will send you, just like your actual offer letter, just like
Hmm.
when you do for a job. You see what
Yeah.
the numbers are, and you make sure you make it work, and
Hmm.
make sure that you're not getting taken advantage of just because you post their stuff.
Yeah.
But make sure they live up to the actual contract
Yeah.
that they're asking you to do.
No, I mean, because we are in a digital space, and there are hackers, there are scammers, they're
Absolutely.
all over the
Daily.
place. Yeah, and I know that a lot of times people get off of these platforms because of that. Outside of social media, do you have any other area of expertise that you really that you would like to share when it comes to marketing? I know you said having a strategy, but I
Mhm.
also know that you're sort of a visionary. So how is that? Is that another component of your marketing, or what are some other components of your marketing strategy and team that people can expect if they work with you?
Yeah, so I like to really get into storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is where you really uh, start to visualize what's going on with the brand and really come
Mm-hmm.
in tune with the brand.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to help a business owner, nonprofits, um, corporations get inside the storytelling or their organization to connect them with the people they're trying to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I've dove heavily into that. I'm now on the financial side of business, um, in a more of a real estate type of marketing era now, and
Mm-hmm.
so I think for me is being able to incorporate different things when it comes to marketing, doing videos, doing
Mm-hmm.
photo shoots, really bringing the whole package to not just posting something on Facebook, but bringing
Mm-hmm.
all the elements in, short stories, video short stories, whole brand launches and things of that nature. Things that I often, got from you sometimes. So
And I think we fed very well off of each other. But I love content. I
mhm,
love creating content, and my
yeah,
mind is always going in that space. So when I was
absolutely.
working in communications on the social media side, that was my strength. And so we had Shannon Henderson last week talking about content, and so content strategy and marketing strategy are two things that work together, but they
Absolutely.
also need to be done separately in order to
Sure.
work in tandem. And so when it comes to content strategy, is that something that you do, or you prefer to kind of work with others, or
I do
what
both.
is you do both
Yeah,
content
I do both.
strategy and marketing? Okay.
Absolutely. I do both. Yeah, I love being able to create the content around a product or service.
Mm-hmm.
I love to be able to introduce new information to different markets,
Mm-hmm.
right? I love being able to connect people with causes, if that
Yes.
makes sense. So several campaigns I've done for North Carolina Central, for Westland and College, for
Mm-hmm.
St. Aug, being able to tell their stories. Zaxby's
Mm-hmm.
uh, is one of my clients that I help write the storyboards and stuff for. So
Yeah.
being able to bring in those communities, to let them know what's going on with the businesses that's close to them.
Yeah, yeah. I love storytelling too. I really got on social media. I was telling Shannon this last week because I wanted to connect. I think everybody knows that about me, that I love connection, love
Absolutely.
connecting. And so that's a part of who I am. And so, you know, I- to the average person that comes to, say, for instance, Facebook, to look for somebody who's just business driven, that's not me on Facebook. Like, I'm very social on Facebook. Now
Hmm.
on LinkedIn, I'm more business focused, but on
Hmm.
Facebook, I'm talking about my daughter. I'm sharing about
Right.
my mom's retirement. I'm also talking about my business. But I just really love connecting. Now
Right.
for that, how do you help people to walk into who they authentically are when it comes to their social media strategy and marketing? But for that person that does want to be a little bit more heavy when it
Hmm.
comes to building their business, how to kind of put the marriage together of the two well.
But one, I think it's important for a business owner to discover who they are in their own business,
Mm,
right?
yeah,
Why did you even start the business? Who was it for? Once you are able to answer those two questions, you can. There's so much content that you can bring out of this, just those two questions alone, right? And so everybody has a why when they started their business, and that why can connect you to so many people that may be looking just for what you have to offer.
yeah,
And now it's just now from there, it's the you have to map out. exactly where you want to place this content to find, the people that are looking for you, so you can help them, with whatever problem they're having, whether it's a product or service.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's good. And I think many people, that's something that many people struggle with because I don't know how many times have you run across where somebody you could just feel that they weren't being authentic, and
Hmm.
and you kind of like,
Huge
and so
word. Authenticity is so
yeah,
key. It's so major, right?
yeah, I need it. I need it. I need authenticity. I think sometimes for me, well, not sometimes. For me, it's a part of that PR. Like, how are you relating to the public? That really speaks to me when it comes to content and communications
Hmm.
and all of that. And so, if I meet you and your persona on social media is totally different in person, that's sort of like a concern. Now, for
Yeah,
some people,
absolutely.
they don't care, but for others, it's a concern, and it's kind of like, well, who am I going to be working with?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which goes back to what I said earlier. You got to be able to have balance in both worlds, right?
yeah,
You got to be able to make sure that you convey your messaging effectively and authentically in both worlds, both online and
absolutely,
in offline as well. In
yeah,
both of those spaces, you can be successful.
hmm,
I found, really, in those spaces, it's an opportunity for you to really be more engaged or more impactful by telling the same story. So, on social media, um, you've heard this word before,
hmm,
repurposing content. Well, it's the same thing, but you got to be able, your delivery has to match exactly what, exactly
yeah,
what you're trying to portray to the audience that you want to engage with.
yeah, yeah. One of the things I love about you, I was telling you this before we started. One of the things I love about you is that you are a big supporter of what your wife is doing as well as an entrepreneur. And a lot of times people sort of roll separately in their in their businesses that are, husband and
Hmm.
wife or whatever, couples in entrepreneurship. And so I wanted to speak to that, like how I've seen you be a major part of her. You were pushing cupcakes and cakes and all of that as if you were in the kitchen baking. And so do you sit down with your wife and talk through social media strategy, or do you let her kind of have that? Because I know sometimes people don't want to step on their significant other's toes. How do
Yeah.
you all function as a couple who are entrepreneurs when it comes to marketing and all of that?
Oh man. So, yeah, I love being in that space. I decided a while ago that, in order for this thing to really have the impact that I know it could have,
Mm-hmm.
I need to become involved, and I need to
Mm-hmm.
have just as much passion for her business as she does.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what has made us successful. That's what has launched us into a space of providing more of a luxury product and brand,
Mm-hmm.
um, where we've hit, several big milestones in her business alone. Um,
That's
they
so
have
good.
there are some hard conversations,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, there's definitely there's a calling me now. There's some hard conversations around,
Mm-hmm.
because I am quote unquote the expert in the marketing area.
Mm-hmm.
But she accepts that.
Mm-hmm.
She had to, hear it from other individuals. And I particularly remember, one collaboration networking event that she went to,
Mm-hmm.
and the very question was like, how do you do your marketing? She said, well, my husband handles all that. And
Mm-hmm.
she was like, well, who's your husband? He said, Quintin Murphy. He was like, but and the guy said, I can't believe you live with him and you're not listening to what he's telling you. Like, so, ever since then, she's kind of been like, all right, well, I guess you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, so it's been
Sometimes
good,
it takes that. Yeah.
yeah, so I support her full wholeheartedly. So I get involved. I'm setting up cupcakes. I provide the electricity. I'm driving, delivering orders. Whatever we got to do to make this husband and wife thing work. That's just another element that I'm all in for. So
Yeah. I love that. I really do because you hear people say, "Oh, don't intermingle the two, keep them separate," while others work so well together. So I really want to shine a light on those that work well together, because it is possible. And
Absolutely.
I've seen the evolution. I've seen where she started versus where she is now, because we've been connected, and I've seen the elevation in the marketing, and I love it. So I had to point that out. But then also on the back end, seeing how committed and dedicated you are to just blowing her up. So we have a question: how do you find the passion for your partner's business if it's not your original vision? Does it become your vision? I think you spoke to that just a little bit, but this is a great question. You want to add to it?
Yeah, sure. Shout out to Marcel Anderson. That's my guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, great question, sir. So for one, um, when this marriage thing, you made a vow before God to death to us part, right?
Hmm.
So for me, it was,
Just 17 years. How many
yeah,
years?
17 years
Yeah.
married, 20 together, all together.
Hmm.
So it
Congrats.
was my, whatever is making you happy, that's going to help our household. Why
Hmm.
not become involved? Why
Yeah.
not make that part of my mission to make sure you're successful? Because I know she's done everything since we've been together to make sure that I was successful. She supported me through several failed businesses. She supported me through several, things that didn't go so well, in
Hmm.
business. So it's only my duty to make sure that she, this is her passion, and I want to make sure she's successful. And if I can't take care of my household, then why would I do for somebody else that I can't do in my own household? That's my
Hmm.
partner.
Yeah. Yeah. And Marcel, you like that answer? Great answer. And Mona says wisdom. That's such a great answer. And so 17 years, 20 together, congratulations. And I've seen, even in that, which I want to speak to for just a second, even in that family unit, and being able to see you all support your family. A lot of people do not have that balance when it comes to full-time entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
How have you created that balance? And I know you've been at this entrepreneurship thing for a while, but to be able to show up for your children and they not feel slighted, or all the different things, family members, friends, you can't go to events or whatever, but you've been able to be a fraternity brother, a friend, a husband, a father. How have you been able to be successful at that?
It's about balancing. It's about balancing, of
Hmm.
course, and just making sure you show up for those moments that matter,
Yeah.
right? We can't be at
Yeah.
every soccer game, but we can be at the one that matters.
Hmm.
We can't
Yeah.
be at every gymnastic event, but we need to be at the ones that matter,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at different things. I
Yeah.
can't be at every fraternity meeting or whatever, but I'm at the ones that matter,
Hmm.
right? When it comes to my wife, I make sure that we carve out those moments for us,
Hmm.
and then when we carve out those moments for us, when we go on, vacations or out to dinner, we talk about our goals and our strategies and what we want
Right.
for each other's businesses and things of that nature,
Yeah.
right? And so, for me, that's another thing that motivates me to keep me going, because I remember what it used to be like to be broke. I
Hmm.
remember what it used to be like to not have a car. I remember what it used to be like not to go on vacation,
Hmm.
And so now that we've created this space and this lifestyle where, you know, we can, go on vacation every 2 months, where we can, go to, we don't, where we can choose where we want to go to dinner after church
Hmm.
and not let our account tell us where to go eat. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, um,
Yeah.
it's with my daughter, she gets that drive from me. So, making sure the things that matter. I put a lot of things on hold so I can go see her get sworn in as an attorney next month.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you got to have that balance, man. If you don't have that balance, and then also making sure your spouse understand what the end goal is for the both of you,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You want a bigger house? I got to go out here and make this thing work,
Mhm.
right? I can't
Yeah.
come home at 5 o'clock every day, right? You know what I'm saying? There are gonna be some late nights that I gotta get it in. There are gonna be some
Mhm.
weekends when I gotta go to work. But I promise you, I'll always put you first.
Yeah.
What I'm doing, I'm still putting you first, because I want a certain lifestyle for us that I
Mhm.
know that I'm not gonna get by being lazy, by
Mhm.
quitting in the fourth quarter, by making sure that things have to be done.
Yeah. That's so good, and so that goes kind of back to Marcel's question about vision, because having that vision and sitting and talking that through helps the wife, the husband, the couple to be able to be on the same page, and
Hmm.
so that understanding comes into play when, like you said, you're not at home by 5 o'clock. It's like, okay, he's out here or she's out here doing the thing that's necessary in order to build this business as well as vision for our family that we
Absolutely.
see. So I love that. And you said so many things in that 2 minutes that was, extremely powerful, that I think that even if somebody is looking to get married, or they are married, they could take from that. But then also when it comes to applying it to your business, just a
Hmm.
single person, even the fact that you have to sit and talk about it, you have to write it out, you have
Absolutely.
to have goal in order to see what's in the future. You have to have a vision. I think that
Hmm.
that's powerful. And I think so that I want to jump back to social media for a second. When you have that person that just says, hey, I see all these people and they getting it on social media, I see them doing well and I want that, but they don't have a vision, they don't have
Hmm.
a goal, they don't have, they all they have is their business and they just have no clue. How do you walk them through that? Like, do you take them through vision building? I know you love a
Yeah.
whiteboard, so this is why I'm asking this question.
Oh yeah, yeah. Whiteboards are a big part of my formula. As you can see behind
Hmm.
me, that's only one of three in this room. Um, but absolutely, man. For a person, even for a single person that just has a business, one of the best pieces of advice is break it down and go about it day by day. But be consistent in your business. Period. Show up. I think that's huge, man. You got to show up.
Yeah.
Show. I can't put it. No, I can't overcomplicate it. You got to show up day in and day out. Show up. It's the little things. You know what I'm saying? It's the little things that you let people know what's going on with your business, good and bad.
Hmm.
Learn how to transition those conversations and convert them into sales simply by being consistent and showing up for your business. Because
Yeah.
if you don't show up for your business, how you expect somebody else is going to?
Yeah, absolutely. Show up. I have another friend in marketing who said something like that, showing up for your business. It's so important. I think it sounds cliche, I guess is the word. It sounds cliche, but it's true. And showing up means having a strategy, having a system, getting up from out of the bed when you could sleep in and doing the work, getting up and grinding,
Right,
but not to the degree that you're not resting. So that's a part of that balance, that you're
right,
not spending
right.
time with family. That's a part of that balance. But
Absolutely.
having a system and a focus, a strategy that leads to solutions, and then you're able to accomplish goals. Now,
Hmm.
are there any, like with this being the fourth quarter, are there any promotions or things that you're looking to be able to share with new clients and or old clients that you would like to highlight, before we wrap up?
Oh yeah. Well, one of the things before we get into that, I did want to mention though
Hmm.
about the showing up piece is don't be discouraged by what you see on social media about other people are doing. It still can happen for you, right?
Yes.
You just got to understand that didn't happen for them overnight, but
Hmm.
they kept showing up, they kept being consistent, and they built over time until they were able to bring in these team of professionals.
Yeah.
Another thing as business owners and entrepreneurs, we got to learn stop doing is trying to do everything ourselves.
Hmm.
Learn how to share the dollar, right? When I first got into it, I wanted to be the website guy. I wanted to be the photographer. I wanted to be sales. I wanted to be social media. And I was killing myself and I was putting out a crappy product. See,
Hmm.
a lot of people not going to have these conversations that some of y'all products are trash because you don't want to share the dollar. Learn how to collaborate. Learn how to hire people that know how to do what they do.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like I tell people all the time, I'm not a flyer guy.
Hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? So I go to I haven't hired him yet, but my boy Elton Benjamin, outstanding dude when it comes to flying graphic design. Tobias Rose, like I got people start building these networks of people that are professional in what they are trained to do. Learn
Yes.
how to share that dollar. I promise
Yes.
you, when you start doing that, you can get to the bag a whole lot easier, more efficient, and then it'll come back around full circle. I
Absolutely.
think another, when people start to see money coming into their business, they think it's theirs. It's not really yours until 5 years in to you've learned how to have uh these this influx of funds where you can have where you can support these team members.
Mhm.
I have a website design guy. I don't do websites.
Mhm.
you know I don't
Yeah.
have I'm not, like you said, a content strategist specialist. I
Mhm.
can do it, but I also will bring somebody in that's better than I am. I'm
Yeah.
learning every day how to do it. I'm not the genius, but i
Mhm.
i, I have the ability to learn.
Yeah. You have to
So we
be.
can't be afraid to learn from somebody else just because they're bigger than you.
Yeah.
That's where you get your ideas and your content. Learn how to
Absolutely.
transition and cultivate that thing where you can become the next big dog. But you got to learn how to share those
Yeah.
resources. For me,
Yeah.
the promotion that I'm doing, of course, I always do a fourth quarter, kind of holiday promotion on social media management,
Mhm.
um, where we're doing a 60% off for our
Mhm.
entrepreneurship package, with social media content writing, social media um, storyboard telling, help you craft strategies and things of that nature. So we're doing that.
Okay.
And then for my larger corporations, we're doing a conglomerate type of packages where you get, um, your photographer, you get a video. We're
Mhm.
doing, brand launches all in one packages as well. So we got a lot of different things that's in the fire right now.
Nice.
But we're definitely doing some. You'll see them come out if you follow me on social media. You'll see the ads start to generate and come out, things of that nature.
Yeah, I love that. So you guys make sure to follow him. It's scrolling across the screen. I mean, like this whole time. So you have to make sure. And I just want to take a rewind because you spoke my language when you talked about collaboration. Obviously, this is the Collaboration Culture podcast under Coffee and Collaborations Media, and that has been a big component of my marketing communication strategy and my public relations. That is my brand. My message
Right.
is to work together, and it's not just about me, right? It's about the bigger picture. I believe that if we work together as entrepreneurs, especially in the African American community, other communities, we can help grow one another's businesses, which helps grows our economy, right? And
Absolutely.
so that's really significant for me to, and it makes it feels good to be able to say, I referred this person to this opportunity and now they're flourishing, or they didn't stop. Like, because of collaboration, some businesses are still out here. They didn't stop because they had a
Hmm.
community of people that were saying, let me book you. I got
Hmm.
you. I got an event coming up. I'm going to use
Hmm.
you. And you got people that are consistently thinking about you. And that's that collaboration culture. And you mentioned Elton Benjamin, who I have been working with for 5, 6 years. I think he told me recently, I don't remember. We've been working together for so long, it's just like air, right? And
Hmm.
so Elton is actually the brand manager, graphic designer for Coffee and Collaborations Media. I've never used anyone else. So all of the stuff, the logo,
It looks
the
great.
flyer,
Dope
everything,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, Elton does all of that. And so I do not use, when it comes to Coffee and Collaborations, that is my guy. I mean, he does more for me than Coffee and Collaborations, but definitely. And so having loyalty
Yeah.
and having a team, Elton to me is a part of my team. So we always shout out Industry Image and Elton Benjamin every show, no matter if
Hmm.
it's Love and Flow TV, Coffee and Collaborations,
Oh yeah,
the
dope brother. Yeah.
collaboration culture, whatever it is, we're always shouting him out. So with that being said, let me go ahead
Big
and
E.
pull up. it's in the it's in the background always. Reach out to Elton Benjamin for all of your graphic needs, and we want to shout him out once again because we love us some Industry Image.
That's
And
right.
so you guys reach out to Quintin Murphy, my
Yeah.
brother, in this thing. And we I don't know when we started saying that brother and sister, but we just support each other for years now. And
Yeah.
it's not gonna stop.
Yeah. Absolutely. Nah, man. I think if this is I think we got together 2012.
I don't know. It's been a
It's
while.
been a minute.
Been a minute.
It's
So
been a
it's
minute.
been a minute. So you
Yeah.
guys, you got to make sure to reach out. I know that there are clients that I introduced him to that he still has, and it just getting bigger and bigger. I know I've been seeing those packages, the prices grow, and I'm like, yeah, brother, let's get it. So anyway, I want to close out by once again shouting out Quintin and asking you all to please follow him on social media so that if you have a social media and or marketing need around content, marketing strategy, all of those things, vision and all of that, you want to reach out to him, have a conversation, get a consultation to see if you can end your fourth quarter with a bang so that you're walking into 2023 even more powerful than you could ever imagine. And so that's what how we want to close out. Hopefully you all got some information. I want to share with you once again that the debt detox will be launching. The debt detox will be launching very soon. Did I grab the wrong flyer again? Let me see. But anyway, that's the right information. But for some reason, when I download the flyer, it goes back to my computer is doing something weird. We'll talk about that another time. But my program, the Debt Detox, we're starting workshops in November. November the 5th
Nice.
will be the first date. So you get your book, you get your notebook. We're going to be going through budgeting, savings, credit, wealth building strategies, financial mindset. You're going to get accountability. This is going to be in a group setting, so I'm able to keep the price very low. It's going to be over 4 weeks with 2 week intervals. So it's going to end before Christmas. So with the right flyer, I'll get you the right dates and all of that stuff. But please go ahead, reach out to me if you're interested in closing out the year in finance in a better way than you started it. Really going ahead and tackling 2023 with some great financial implementation. All right. So I'm really excited about that. I think the sun came up. You see the sun over there. Really
It's
excited
gleaming,
about.
girl.
I know the sun came. I guess it's going down, so it's coming up. Anyway, you all have a great rest of your Tuesday evening. This has been amazing. I thank you all for joining us. Be sure to follow us at Coffee and Collaborations Media on YouTube if you already aren't. And then on Facebook at Coffee and Collaborations. Make sure to tell a friend about this podcast and share it. If you know anybody that needs marketing, we got some great questions answered, and that is valuable information. So please feel free to share and replay this and of course plug into Quintin Murphy. All right. Quentin,
Awesome.
anything you want to say as we close out?
I just want to say thank you again for this opportunity to come and be on your platform. To the listeners and the viewers out there, just remember this: it's not how many follow you, it's who follows you, where you provide the most value.
Yes. Yes, that is great information. So you all have a great evening. Don't get caught up in the loves and the likes and be successful right where you are. You have everything that you need inside of you to win because why? You guys always know that I always say because you're born to do so, you're born to win. So have a great rest of your evening. See you next Tuesday with another guest as we talk about fourth quarter success tips. Good
Nice.
night.